Hello everyone, welcome to this week's tier list. We're going over the classic WoW dungeons. I'm ranking these based off of my experience with them, the loot, kind of key loot. I'm not going to add like the risk of hardcore status or hardcore challenge and stuff like that. I'm just going to talk about the challenges of the dungeons, and you can kind of go with that as you will. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to start with Black Fathom Depths. Black Fathom Depths, I'm going to put down at C because I don't think it's that useful. It's an okay dungeon. It's got some decent items, some mage gear and stuff like that. But honestly, I don't think it's worth walking all the way over there as a horde character. Now, Alliance, you're probably better off going to there. Alright, Blackrock Depths. I'm going to put this up at S because I think Blackrock Depths is probably the best classic dungeon. It's got great mechanics in it. It's a giant dungeon. It takes forever. It's got the most memories for me when I was playing Classic WoW. It's just one of my favorite dungeons. Alright, Dire Maul. We're going to put this at A because it's important for later. It definitely has some more raid mechanics that you kind of need to be aware of. And then it also has the raid buffs that become important later on. Gnomeregan, we're going to put this, I think, maybe at C or D because I don't really like Gnomeregan. As a horde player, I almost never go there unless I'm like playing a twink or whatever and doing PvP. I'm trying to gear them up. Then I'll probably do Gnomeregan for a couple pieces, but other than that, it's not really worth it. Razorfen Downs, I'm also going to put at C because it's not the best. It's honestly just kind of a pain in the butt needing to go back there, and it doesn't have that many like key items or key loot other than like the mage's wand and stuff like that. Blackrock Spire, I'm going to put this up at A because I think it's a great dungeon. It's good, like I said, more mechanics that you got to be aware of. It's got a lot of like harder bosses, and it's got a few pre-bis items that you need to get for some of your characters. Ragefire, I'm going to put you at B because Ragefire is great. It's a good first dungeon for horde players, but it's kind of boring and dull. Luckily, it's convenient, and it's that first little bit of group experience you get. Shadowfang Keep, I'm going to put at B as well because it's got some key items in there for low levels, but it's just, for some reason, Argol always wants to drop his bracers and just never really give what people want. So I'm going to put that at B because it's kind of annoying. It is a fun dungeon, though, for early levels. It teaches you the silence mechanic and stuff like that. So I will say it is a key dungeon to go to. Zul'Farrak. I'm going to put Zul'Farrak at A, almost S, because I love Zul'Farrak. I think, I'm going to put it at S because the stairs boss is the coolest, one of the coolest like first memories I have of doing dungeons in Classic WoW, and I think that's just on its own makes it into an S because it's such a fun fight. Scarlet Monastery, we're going to put at B because it's boring. B for boring. Scarlet Monastery is good. It's got some items you kind of need, but honestly, it's boring as shit. Wailing Caverns, you're going D. If I can put you lower, if I had a lower rank, I would put it there because Wailing Caverns sucks. It's way too long. It's not really worth it. The boss like quest for the staff on Horde is okay, but it's such a crappy dungeon. So yeah, it goes into D. Razorfin Crawl, I'm gonna put you at B because you've got some pretty good items in it. It's not too hard. The escort quest is kind of fun. So yeah, that's going to go to B. Stockades, I don't know much about Stockades, so I'm also going to put this at B because it's convenient, at least. It's in Stormwind. I don't know what kind of like gear is in there. I haven't done it often. I don't play Alliance. So I just don't know much about Stockade. Oldemon. Oldemon I'm going to put at A because I think it's awesome. It's got a lot of lore-based bosses and stuff like that. And the quests in there are pretty decent. And I think there's a few decent like key items that you want to get from there as well. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. But I know Oldemon's a pretty decent dungeon for the most part. Maraudon, I'm going to put... Honestly, I want to put it at D because I don't like Maraudon. I don't like Desolace at all. And the fact that that dungeon is in Desolace just puts it at D on its own because Desolace sucks. Dead Mines. Dead Mines is a good one. I think it's probably one of the best first dungeons. Actually, it is. It's way, way, way better than Ragefire Chasm. It's so cool going through it. And then there's a boat in there. It's just so unique in that aspect that I'm putting it up at S because it's probably one of the best classic dungeons, especially for new players and stuff like that. It brings you into this freaking cool dungeon and stuff. It's a good one. We're gonna keep that at S. Sholomance. Sholomance is pretty fun. I like it a lot because it introduces you to the Scourge, and there's some pretty good pre-bis items in there for a few classes. Strathome. Strathome I'm going to put up at S because I think it's just like Blackrock Depths, or similar to Blackrock Depths, where it's a long dungeon. It's fun. You encounter a couple of enemies that you saw in Warcraft 3 and stuff. Plus, it's got the mount, so that goes up in S. Sunken Temple. This is the easy one. Everyone, take 2 seconds. What do you think I'm going to put this at? That's right. I'm going to put this at D because Sunken Temple really sucks in Classic. Now, later on when they revamped it, it's great. But in Classic, Sunken Temple is the worst dungeon. It's way worse than Wailing Caverns. Nobody should be doing Sunken Temple unless you... I think there's a couple items in there, I guess, that some people need for pre-bis. But it's almost not worth it. I hate Sunken Temple. If you guys like it, I'm sorry. But I don't. The only little bonus I'll give Sunken Temple is you get to fight a dragon in it. And that's kind of cool, but that's about it. So that's my tier list, guys. It's totally accurate. This is 100% how everyone should put all of the dungeons. So if you disagree with me, you're wrong, and you're just going to have to live with that. So this is actually Blizzard's accurate, 100% accurate description of all the dungeons. This is how they would rank it. Jeff Metzen would rank it this way. You might wonder who's Jeff Metzen. Look him up. And yeah, all right. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week, or we'll do another tier list. If you guys have any ideas for tier lists, let me know, and I'll do it. All right, have a good one.